The materials that you're going to need for this artwork are colored pencils and a nice sharpener because they're going to get dull as students kind of go in and work with them. A large sheet of white paper for their good copy and a smaller sheet of white paper, scrap paper is fine, for their thumbnail sketches that they're going to be doing. More intricate designs within our shapes. So these little spaces of color here, you wouldn't be able to use chalk pastels or paint or any of those types of mediums to get that same effect because it would be very difficult to go in and get that nice uniform color. So that's why we're suggesting that students use colored pencils or fine tip markers or Sharpies to be able to do those little spaces. The time frame for this project can be open to the amount of discussion that you might have in your class prior to actually beginning the good copy. So you take the students through the principles, the elements and principles of design PowerPoint that comes with this lesson. If you've already covered that with your class, then you can kind of just do a little quick refresher. At the end of that, you can have the discussion of what Aboriginal art they've seen, what some of the key features are. You've talked a little bit about their black outlines, negative and positive spaces, and then from there, after your discussion of those things, students can start to come up with the different thumbnail sketches that they want to be able to draw. They can come up with the different animals, fictional or non-fictional animals that they want to draw. So that will probably take one whole class, 20 minutes for the thumbnail sketches, plus the overview of the elements, principles of the design. After they have the thumbnail sketches, then they can move on to creating their good copy, which would be another entire class. PowerPoint, you'll see a whole bunch of different Aboriginal art pieces to show your students for examples. Most of the Aboriginal artists have selected an animal that's transforming into either another animal or has other animals within it. Those are some of the things that you want to be talking about that are included in the PowerPoint and the instruction sheet. From there, you can discuss with students different types of animals that they want to select for their artwork. After they've thought a little bit about them, you'll encourage your students to do 6 different thumbnail sketches. And what a thumbnail sketch is, they should only be about this big. Students don't have to use a ruler because a thumbnail sketch is a rough outline. So they can set up their page however they feel comfortable. They can do it this way, they can do it like this. Maybe they want to try doing a horizontal landscape or a vertical one. They just need 6 for a page. They can use front and back. So this one I have 4 different thumbnail sketches that I'm ready to use, 4 different boxes, and I'll do 2 more on the other side. So if I've selected to do a fish, I'm going to draw a very quick thumbnail sketch. These thumbnail sketches should take no longer than 20 minutes for all 6. They're not a good copy. Students shouldn't spend that much time doing them. So just a rough outline of the fish. I want to include all the spaces and designs within the fish. I'm going to draw a smaller fish inside of it to show that a fish eats another fish. All of the negative space should be a rough outline of things that they want to include in there. I'm not going to do all of them at once. Different lines can be included, but I am going to just show where the major black outline is going to be, and it's going to be right around the fish all the way. That's all it should be. Maybe I want to include some more fish around here. That's one thumbnail sketch, and I'm going to move on to my next one where I'll draw a turtle. Turtle tail. Again, they're not very illustrative. They're just very quick, showing different things. And then they'll continue on to do 6 more. Should, again, take no longer than 30 minutes to do 30 to 20 minutes to do them all. You'll notice in some of the Aboriginal art that you would have looked at with your class, some of the outlines are more unified. I don't take that same method, and it can be left up to the students on what proportion of outline they may want to choose. So here, there's more of an emphasis on the black line and just a little bit of the red. Down here, I might choose to have more of a blue line and less of an outline. Leave the color scheme open to students' choices. It doesn't have to be the same. They can alternate colors. They can come up with new colors. They can have varying amounts of black outline and colors, I would leave it up to the student's preferences for that. So here I've colored one line in blue and then the next one in red. Same with up here, all these dots don't have to be red. They might want to do different colors, and it would add a totally different effect to their drawing and probably make it more interesting as well. I think the proportion of the outline can be left up to the student's discretion, because eventually the students are going to be going back into these negative spaces and giving them color as well, so it can add a different dimension. With colored pencils, you also have to be careful not to do this, because as you'll see, the colors will run. So continue to encourage students to blow the shavings off of their paper as opposed to wiping them with their hand. With colored pencils, you'll notice as I'm coloring, some of the color will kind of fade off into these little white spaces. Make sure to have students go back in and really deepen up the color so that you get a nice bold effect. They can color all different ways to make sure that it's really in there. That way the final, when they're all completed this, it will be nice and uniform, and there won't be as many light and dark spaces because of your color pencil.